The Atlanta Braves have done it. They are your World Series champions for 2021. What an amazing performance by Max Fried. Got the big home runs from Soler and Swanson and Freeman. Just a great game for the Atlanta Braves to finish off a fantastic season and win the World Series. Jake Mastriani here from Locked On Braves. We'll be breaking down everything from this Game 6 World Series victory on today's episode of Locked On Braves. So let's get into it.
Hey, this is Stacey Gotsoulias,
DC Lundberg,
Ryan Finkelstein,
Taylor Blake Ward,
host of Locked On Yankees,
Locked On Mariners,
Locked On Mets,
Locked On Angels,
and you're listening to Locked On Braves.
Locked On Braves,
Locked On Braves,
part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Hey, and welcome back to Locked On Braves, brought to you by the Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your favorite teams every day. I am your host, Jake Mastriani. You can follow me on Twitter at ShortstopBall. Check out my bio there to see where I am covering the game of baseball, including your World Series champion Atlanta Braves over at TomahawkTake.com. Also, make sure you follow the podcast on Twitter at LockedOn_Braves and subscribe to the Locked On Braves podcast wherever you get your podcast. And thanks for making Locked On Braves your first listen each and every day. We post episodes daily, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and are free and available on all platforms. And just to remind you, this World Series winning episode is brought to you by Spotify Green Room. Download the app and join me the next time I go live to get in on the action. And yes, this is your Game 6 recap, Braves World Series clinching recap episode of Locked On Braves. They get it done. They get it done handedly and finish off the Houston Astros in 6 games. This is kind of what we thought might happen in Game 5 after that grand slam, but this time they had Max Fried on the mound to shut things down. Max Fried left it all on the field, throwing 98, 97 miles per hour on the fastball. You could just see the determination in him after his last 2 starts in this postseason didn't go his way. He was not going to let that happen here in Game 6 with a chance to clinch the World Series. He was unbelievable in this game. Just loved the performance from Max Fried. Soler hits one out of the ballpark, like literally. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. He hits one out of the ballpark to get the party started. A huge 3-run homer, just an amazing at bat, an amazing sequence there. Soler gets it done, and the offense continues to add on. Been talking about it all series long. They got to continue to add on to pile on runs. They do it here, and it really didn't matter as the pitching shut out the Houston Astros for the second time in this series. The best offense in all of baseball, and the Braves pitching staff shuts them out twice, holds them to 2 runs or less in all 4 of their wins. This pitching staff for the Atlanta Braves was unreal in this World Series. And the Braves get it done in 6 games against all odds as the underdogs. They get the World Series win, and they are your World Series champions. We'll take a break, and then we're going to come back and recap everything from Game 6, talk about all the biggest moments in the Braves World Series clinching victory. As I said at the top, this episode is brought to you by Spotify Green Room. Green Room is the first social audio platform made for sports fans. The app is free to download, and once you're in, you can talk with me, other fans, athletes, and insiders in real time about your favorite team or sport. Green Room is the perfect place to start or join conversations about the Atlanta Braves or whatever your favorite team is. You'll find fans just like you on Green Room for watch parties, debates, post-game breakdowns, and of course, reacting to big news or rumors. Saw a lot of rooms out there during the World Series, a lot of opportunities there to watch the World Series together. Go download the free Spotify Green Room app now, currently available on all iOS devices. Be sure to create a profile, link your Twitter, and join the group of your choice for the latest league updates. Follow me at ShortstopBall to be notified when my room goes live. All right, so let's break down this fantastic game for the Atlanta Braves from beginning to end, because things did not start out great for the Atlanta Braves in this one. Eddie Rosario led off the game, lined out to right field. Kyle Tucker with a great diving catch to rob him of a double. And after, what happened in Game 5 and what happened in Max Fried's last start, where everything seemed to go the wrong way, You had to be sitting there thinking as a Braves fans, here we go again. Is it really going to go like this? The first batter of the game, Eddie Rosario, hits a ball hard, 92, 93 miles an hour, I think it was. Kyle Tucker makes a great running, diving catch, robs him of a leadoff double. And, as a Braves fan, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, no, don't let it happen like this. And that thought continued into the bottom of the first inning as Altuve gets an infield single, gets it just past Austin Riley. Dansby tries to make a great play on it, but Altuve, it was too fast for that. And then Brantley hits a 61.6 mile per hour hit to first base. Freddie Freeman's kind of stuck in between, doesn't know where to go to second. Max Fried's not covering the bag at first quick enough, and Max Fried doesn't get his foot on the bag. He actually gets his foot stepped on by Brantley. First base umpire calls him safe. This play actually should have been reviewed. Michael Brantley never touched the bag. Max Fried does end up touching the bag with his glove, not with his foot, and should have been reviewed. Brantley should have been out. I don't know why we're in the World Series and somebody, an umpire up on the video booth can't just ping down and say, hey, he was out. He still hasn't touched the bag. I don't know why we don't have that ability, but we don't. That's neither here nor there. But either way, this is what happened in the second inning of game 2 against Max Fried. Again, some weak hits, nothing's left to infield, and there's 2 on with nobody out. And you're thinking, not again, not like this to Max Fried, not another outing where things just don't go his way and he's unlucky. And what does he do? Max Fried comes out on fire. I mean, the intensity from Max Fried after that was just really fun to see. He went to work. He struck out Correa, pounded him inside with 2 fastballs and then gets him on the slider. Just a really good sequence there. He gets Jordan to ground out, moves runners to second and third with 2 outs with Gurriel coming up. So still not out of the jam. And this is where I loved what we saw from Max Fried. He gets Gurriel to strike out on 3 straight fastballs at 97, 97, and the final one at 98 to put him away. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And Max Fried is out of the jam. He walks off the mound, pumped up, showing more emotion than I've ever seen Max Fried show before. I mean, it just seemed like that start, again, he wasn't going to let that happen to him again. He took things into his own hands. He reached back, got a little bit extra, and got out of that jam. That last pitch to Gurriel at 98 miles per hour, that was the fastest pitch he threw all season, and he really did it throughout the game. He kind of reached back when he needed to get a little bit more on that fastball. He really gave it all he had in this one. But that first inning, getting out of that jam, really kind of settling things down was such a big moment in this game. A great moment for Max Fried to kind of make his statement right here. I'm not going to let this happen again. I am not going to let things get out of control. Not going to let this bad luck, continue to spiral against me. So I'd love to see that in the first inning. Ozzy, who got moved down to the 7th spot. I've talked about it on the pregame episode. It's time to move Ozzy down in the lineup. I think I said it after game 5 as well in my recap podcast. Got to move Ozzy down in the lineup. Wasn't getting it done in the 3-hole. Just some really bad at-bats. And Snitker, to his credit, he has been, other than, what he did with the bullpen in game 5, which, again, if you come back and win in game 6, everybody forgets about it. But outside of that, I mean, Snitker managed an amazing World Series, an amazing postseason with the way he handled the bullpen and to be able to adjust the lineup, to see the adjustments that need to be made. And, Snitker's somebody that's typically slow to react. He's going to run out the same lineups over and over. So credit to him. He saw Rosario, Freddie, Soler, Riley. Those were the guys giving the best at bat. So he put those 4 at the top. Ozzy'd been struggling. You move him down to the 7-hole. And Ozzy the spark. Our friend Fred Owens over at TomahawkTake.com, he's been saying it all year. Ozzy is the one who stirs the drink for this Atlanta offense. When he's going, this offense goes. And we saw that in game 6 here. It took, Snitker moving him down in the order, but you put him down in the 7th spot. You take some of that pressure off of him, just kind of let him be Ozzy Albies. And he gets the first hit of the game in the 3rd inning. Nothing really going for the offense through 2 innings against Luis Garcia, who is a really good young pitcher. I said it in the pregame. I think he's their most dominant starter. He's the one that scares me the most as far as their starters go. He's going on 3 days rest in this one, so he knew he wasn't going to go long. But nothing really through the first 2 innings for the Braves. Ozzie gets a leadoff single in the third inning, and really it was a mistake, an 0-2 mistake pitch from Luis Garcia, one that he left over the plate, but a good two-strike, approach from Ozzie. It wasn't an all-out swing. He kind of just flung the bat at it and hit it between shortstop and second base into the outfield for a leadoff hit. Dansby just missed a home run here in the third inning. He got one just a little bit off the end of the bat, and it landed right in front of the Crawford boxes in left field. I thought maybe that was gone. Might be off the wall, but it looked like it died a little bit there. So you got 2 outs. Ozzie still sitting over there at first base. Eddie Rosario comes up. He walks, and that set up the biggest swing of the night with Jorge Soler coming to the plate. And when I say he got this one, he got every bit of this. And you really have to go back and unpack this at bat for just how great of a moment it was. He gets to a 3-2 count. He fouls off a couple of tough pitches. He got a cutter down and in that just stayed inside. I obviously don't think that's where Garcia wanted it and Maldonado wanted it, but it stays inside. Soler sits back on it and just demolishes this baseball over the train track for a 3-run home run. And I mean, that just, immediately took the Astros crowd out of it. A raucous Astros crowd there. It can get really loud. And Soler just takes it out of them with that 3-run homer. It was a different feeling in this one, even from when they got the grand slam in Game 5, because you knew you had Max Fried on the mound. You knew if anything went wrong, the Braves were going to go right to their big relievers. So it was a different feeling in this game, for Braves fans and Astros fans too, when Soler hits this 3-run homer, because you're thinking, oh no, they have their ace on the mound. They got the night shift ready to go. So it was a very different feeling here. That was such a big swing. Again, a 2-out swing, a great at bat, a great at bat from Rosario before that to take the walk. But again, just an amazing sequence by Jorge Soler. He was huge in this postseason, had 3 go-ahead home runs. He had the leadoff home run to start the World Series. He had that go-ahead home run in Game 4, and he has the go-ahead home run here in Game 6. Just an amazing series for Jorge Soler. I really hope the Braves bring him back, especially if the DH is coming into play. Love having him around. Just love watching him mash baseballs. Fried just continued to work. He has finished after 6th inning, as I said at the top. Really emptied the tank. I mean, I wanted him to go longer, but I understand it from Snicker, especially, when the lead was up to 6-0. I forgot to mention in that 5th inning, Freddie got in on the action as well. Soler got a 2-out walk in the 5th inning, and then Freddie had a double that made it 6-0. Again, I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead here. You go back, Ozzie again in the 5th inning. Sorry, to start the 5th inning, Ozzie got a leadoff walk. Again, like I said, Ozzie stirring the pot for this Braves offense, gets on base again, gets a leadoff walk, and this time Dansby Swanson does not miss it. A good at bat from Dansby here too. He just missed 3 hanging sliders, and then they decided to go fastball, after showing him 3 straight sliders, and Dansby, he did not miss it. He was ready for it. Crushed it into the Crawford boxes, made it 5-0. So again, Ozzie gets on, Ozzie scores. Dansby comes through with a home run this time, doesn't miss it. And then later in the 5th, Soler gets a 2-out walk, and Freddie gets the double to make it 6-0. Freddie had to have a moment in this one. He gets the home run later, which is just so fitting for the franchise player to get a home run in the World Series clinching game. So excited for Freddie Freeman. But back to Fried's performance. He was finished after the 6th inning. Again, emptied the tank there. Don't really blame Snit for not sending him out. Again, especially with the lead, what it was. I thought, you could have sent Fried out there for sure. But I thought Fried gave it all he had. Take him out there, feeling great about his outing. Again, just one more time, he really emptied the tank. I mean, he reached back, he left it all on the field. I saw a quote before the game where he said, this is most likely my last outing of the year. There's nothing to hold back here. And he did not. I mean, he went all in this game. Just love to see it from Max Fried. I saw Kelsey Wingert tweet out after the game that she was so happy to see Max Fried show what he can do on this stage. And I feel the exact same way. He finally was able to get that big moment to close out a series here. So happy for Max Fried in this game. His final line read 6 innings, 4 hits, no walks, no earned, and 6 strikeouts. And I mean, he's really was even better than that line reads. He had some more luck this time around, and I don't mean that in a bad way at all. But he did give up 3 weak singles. So again, at the same time, he also didn't have some luck, but he got a couple of big double plays. The Astros were 1 for 4 on their hard hit balls, so not a lot of hard hit balls off of them in general. And when they did, it went for outs. Again, their three of their 4 singles they got were really weak hits. So I mean, Fried was just brilliant in this one. Things started to go his way a little bit. I didn't talk as much about Michael Brantley stepping on his foot in that first inning because we were all focused on the fact that he should have been out. But I mean, that was a scary moment. You go back and watch that. I mean, that was a full-on step on the ankle, Tim Hudson, Eric Young Jr.-esque right there. I mean, that could have been very bad. And, not only does he not thankfully get hurt there, he comes out and just deals after that. Again, it's like it just upset him. It triggered something in him, and he was a very different pitcher after that, more aggressive pitcher. Speaking of being more aggressive, I talked in the pregame how the fact that the Astros were sitting on his fastball in that game 2 start, and that's what a lot of their hits early came on, and then he went away from it. He did not shy away from the fastball in this one. He threw it 41% of the time. He only got 2 swings and misses on it, but 10 of the 30 that he threw, or 10 of the 30 that he threw were called strikes. And he was able to get ahead with that pitch this time, was really able to locate it. John Smoltz talked about on the broadcast, able to locate it in and away, really keeping the Astros hitters off balance. So he was a little wild to start with it. Fell behind Altuve and then gave up the infield single, fell behind Brantley with it as well. But then he really settled down again after getting that ankle stepped on. He really settled down, was able to control the strike zone with that fastball, making his breaking pitches that much better. His changeup was actually really effective in this one. He got 3 swings and misses on the 6 swings on that pitch with the changeup. So, I mean, just a great performance from Max Fried. Only threw 74 pitches, but again, 74, max effort pitches. Just really great stuff from him in this one. Again, I can't tell you enough about this performance from Max Fried. And then I mentioned a minute ago, Freddie Freeman, he had to go deep in this one. If this was going to be the game they clinched, and it was, you had to have a big home run from Freddie Freeman to put the icing on the cake there, making it 7-0, the last run that the Braves score in their World Series run. It's got to come from Freddie Freeman. So, and it was another just, Freddie Freeman-esque swing. He gets a slider down and in. He flicks it out to left center field, kind of like the swing he had against Josh Hader to clinch the NLDS. So happy for Freddie there that he's able to get that home run. Matzik comes out for the 7th and 8th to cap off an amazing postseason run for him. And then Will Smith, everybody's favorite closer. I mean, how great was he in the postseason? Kind of fitting after all he drug us through in the regular season for him to finish this off, even after giving up the leadoff single to Michael Brantley. Just an amazing postseason from Will Smith. Glad he was able to finish it off with all he went through in the season, the ups and downs that he had, to be able to finish it off for the Braves. Has to be a great feeling for him. All right, we'll take one more break, and then we'll come back and wrap things up. The show is also brought to you by our friends at Built Bar. If you're looking for a fantastic tasting protein bar, then look no further. Built Bar has a ton of flavors and a wide variety of flavors at that. It's not just your chocolate chip, coconut, fudge, cookies, and cream. They have a bunch of different flavors from almond toffee, mint, peanut butter fudge, dark chocolate raspberry, a ton of really interesting, really cool flavors you don't normally get in protein bars. Something that's going to give you a very unique taste, something that tastes good. They're not hard as a rock like a lot of the other protein bars out there. Has a soft middle, so it's very easy to chew and easy to get down. And they're great for you as well. Most of them only have about 4 to 5 grams of net carbs, whether you eat them in the morning after workout or there's a snack for you like they are for me. You can eat them anytime. I can't tell you enough how great they are, especially for a protein bar. Let's go right now to built.com, builtbar.com, and use our promo code LOCKEDON15 for 15% off your next order. Again, go to built.com and use our promo code LOCKEDON15. BetOnline is back and better than ever. A new web interface for the start of the basketball season and more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the basketball and football action this season, as well as the World Series that just ended. Head to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit when you use our promo code LOCKEDON From baseball, basketball, football, NHL, boxing, UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, so just taking a look back, at this World Series for the Braves, we'll do a full, postseason review, regular season review, complete, season review in the coming days. But just focusing now, mainly on the World Series for the Braves and how they got it done. You go back to game one. Again, you get the home run for Soler to get things started, and that was really big. You had Charlie Morton go out in the first inning, or not the first inning, but in the early in that game, in the third inning, I believe it was. And just right there, it's things seem doom and gloom, even though the Braves are able to win that game, which is huge, by the way, to be able to win that game after losing Charlie Morton, just amazing. And then, you come back in game two and Max Fried, again, that second inning, things just kind of got away from him, kind of a blowout game there. Then they come back to Atlanta. You got the rainy game in game three. Ian Anderson is just really amazing. Goes 5 no-hit shutout innings. They almost throw a no-hitter in that one. They get the 2 runs and they win 2-0, a 2-hit shutout from the Braves pitching staff. But game 4 is where everything changed. Nothing going right for the Braves in that one. They get an amazing start, or not a start, but it ended up being a relief appearance. But he basically was a starter, was Kyle Wright. An amazing outing out of him, keeps the Braves in the game. Austin Riley with a key RBI in the middle of that game to bring the Braves within 1 run, which led to Brian Snitker bringing in Tyler Matzik for the 7th inning in a 1-run game. That was huge. Can't forget about that. And then you get the back-to-back home runs from Dansby and Soler. That, to me, is the moment of this series. That's what changed everything. It looked like the Astros were going to win that one, going to even the series back up, and the Braves have another bullpen game in game 5. But the Braves come back and win that game against the bullpen. Again, that was the series-changing moment for me right there. And then you go to game 5. Braves got a chance to clinch at home, get the grand slam in the first inning from Adam Duvall, and you got to be sitting there thinking, here it is. Is it going to be this easy? And it wasn't. Credit to the Astros team. Came back and won that game twice, because the Braves had a 5-4 lead later in the game after the Freddie Freeman home run, which you thought maybe that was going to be the moment, but it wasn't. The Astros came back, won that game handedly. Snitker decided not to go with the big relievers in that one in a close game, which I guess you could say paid off. I don't know if it did or not. It really didn't matter in game 6, but either way, you go to game 6, you get the big 3-run homer. Well, before that, you get Max Fried getting out of that first inning jam. You get the 3-run homer from Jorge Soler, and the offense just continues to add on from there. And, really what it was in this series was the pitching. Again, you had the best offense in all of baseball through the entire season in the Houston Astros, and the Braves pitching really just dominated them in the 4 games that they won. I mean, holding them to 2 runs or less in their 4 wins, shutting them out twice. I mean, you just have to give all the props in the world to the Braves pitching staff, because in 3 of those games that they won, it's not, 2 of those games that the Braves won, it's not like the offense really broke out. I mean, you had a 2-0 win and a 3-2 win in 2 of those games. So, the Braves offense did just enough in those games, but the pitching staff, to me, was the real heroes of this World Series. And that bullpen that just came alive in the postseason, the night shift. I love that. Got to get my night shift t-shirt. But they really, just did an excellent job in this postseason. Fried was really good, even in game 2, things got away from him in the second, but he was able to eat some innings, pitch into the 6th inning there, really got on a roll. I said at that time, I thought that would give him some momentum, some confidence going into the next start. And I think that definitely was the case. Much better in game 6, obviously, and had some things go his way. But Jorge Soler, your MVP. I was waiting on the announcement as I was recording here, but Jorge Soler was your MVP, and that, just makes a ton of sense. You got to give an MVP to Alex Anthopoulos as well. bringing in those guys at the deadline. Soler was huge in this. Rosario was huge in this postseason. Jock had some moments early on. Duvall had some big home runs as well and played a good center field, which the Braves needed as they didn't have a center fielder. I still don't know that they did with Duvall out there, but he gets it done and does play a solid center field as well. But Soler, the 3 go-ahead home runs in the World Series. Just incredible stuff there. An incredible season, incredible World Series. Can't tell you how excited I am for the city of Atlanta and its fans. The Braves get it done in 6, a 7-0 win in Game 6 over the Houston Astros. Again, we'll be talking about this for days to come, so make sure that you are subscribed to the Locked On Braves podcast. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at LockedOn_Braves. Follow me at Shortstop. Make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube as well. Have some big interviews coming up here in the offseason I'm really excited about. But yes, please go make sure that you are subscribed to the Locked On Braves podcast, and we will talk to you next time.